What if you could bypass all the file saving nonsense of making a livery with just one click? Check this out. No more of this saving a file in the one location and then renaming it to the number of your iRacing account and then transferring it over to the iRacing folder. Forget all that. I've got a really solid method for making this a one-click situation. I'm going to explain the whole thing. Okay, so essentially the way this works is I have written a script, and inside of that script, you're going to put it in the Photoshop scripts folder, and then we're going to make an action pointing to that script. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. I'm literally going to walk you step by step through this. It's so simple, I promise. The first thing you're going to do is click the link in the description, and that link goes to my public folder, and in that folder, I've got 3 JavaScript files. Now, once you get those downloaded, the only thing you have to do is open them with Notepad. Okay, I sometimes use a program called Brackets. You can use Brackets if you want to, but you can also just use Notepad. Okay, it'll open it up just fine. So that's going to be step 1. Step 1 is downloading all 3 files from my drive. When you got all 3 files downloaded, just download them to your desktop, and then we're going to change those files to match your settings. Whenever you make an iRacing livery, you're going to make one with like the sim stamped number. Like iRacing makes the sim stamp. iRacing will stamp their own number on your car. So you make the design with no number on it. There's the num, export num, which is where you make your own number. And then you got to remember to go into iRacing and turn off or turn on hide card numbers. And then export spec. So this is where you get all your shiny bits and not so shiny bits on your car. So we're going to use all 3, and we're going to change it for all 3. So let's start by opening these up. We're going to open all 3 of them up. What we're going to do is we're going to change the first one. We'll start with no num. You can start with any of them. And you're going to delete where it says your car number, and you're going to put your number in there. My number is 921096. I know that by heart because I've typed it in so many times, having to do all the saving stuff. Okay, now this part right here, there's only 3 spots that we're going to change. There's only 3 spots: this spot, and this spot, and then everything else is automated. Watch. So this path right here, this is a file path for where you're going to back up your target file, your TGA files, right? So wherever I store them wherever I store my Photoshop file. So wherever I save that file at, I'll put the TGA files with it, so I can always keep them all in one spot. This is where I save my file. Whenever I work on my liveries, I have a very specific folder for all the cars. I can show you all the cars that I work on. This is the one I'm going to be doing for this video, which is the Formula V. So I'm going to store all of these inside of here. So I need this file extension. I need this file path rather. I'm going to just copy, and now I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to paste that file path in there. And this is where it's going to back up to, right? Now I need the iRacing folder. Now this is where you would send the TGA file to iRacing so that it would load into the program, okay? So I'm going to grab this file path right here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go down here to iRacing folder, and I'm going to click paste. Okay. Now you might just say, okay, perfect. That's all I got. I've got it. I'm going to go. Don't just wait, because in JavaScript files, it does not like backslashes. Backslashes are out. Don't do any backslash. It's got to be a forward slash. So the quick way to fix this is I'm going to highlight this area. I'm going to press Control H. I'm going to search for all the backslashes, and then I'm going to replace it all with front slashes. And it's just as easy as that. So now this is going to work a little better. Not a little better. It's going to work. So this one is complete. It's really quick to do that with the rest of them. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come over here to this next one. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to come over here to this next one, and I'm going to paste it. Very simple. The only issue is that where this says car, this is on the one that says with the number involved. This one is with the no number involved, okay? So with car number, I'm going to put NUM underscore. Remember, because we have to make sure that this one is going to give us the numbered version of our livery. Same thing with this. This one, since this is the spec file, it's missing the spec extension. So SPEC underscore. And that is it on the nerdy code side. So we're going to save this. We're going to save this. And we're going to save this. And now you're done with that portion of the job. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to open up a new folder. We're going to scroll down to C, Program Files, Adobe, Adobe Photoshop, Presets, Scripts. And then we're going to grab these and we're going to drop them in here. Now, I already have these. It loaded up, so you might not get this or you won't get this, but you'll get those loaded up and it's going to say, do you want to do this? And you'll say yes. So now we've got all the scripts loaded into our Adobe Photoshop scripts folder. Here's an important tip. If you had Photoshop opened, when you put those scripts in the folder, you're going to have to close out Photoshop and open it back up. Otherwise it won't work. So we'll close it out. No. We'll open it back up. What we're going to do now is make an action for each of those, for the exporting number, exporting no number, and then exporting the spec. First things first, we're going to create a folder, and we're going to call this iRacing export. Right? And then we're going to click the little plus sign, and we're going to call this export number. We're going to click record. We're going to go to File, Scripts, Browse. We're going to navigate to our folder, Program Files, Adobe, Photoshop, Presets, Scripts, and then the one that says number. And we're going to click Load. Now you can see that it ran the script, and we're going to stop. It ran the script just fine. Okay, so now I need the one for no number. Even though I had no number on there, I don't want you to be confused. So I'm going to add one more. I'm going to call this export no number. And we're going to click record. Go to File, Scripts, Browse, no number, Load. Now you're not going to see a change here because it's already reading the one we just set up. So now I'm going to click Stop, and finally I'm going to create the action for exporting the specs. So we're going to click New one more time. We're going to type export spec. No, I accidentally clicked function key. None. We're going to click record, File, Scripts, Browse, Spec, Load. Boom. And then we'll click Stop, and we can see here that it loaded the spec just fine, except we weren't. The only problem is that it didn't have the proper spec. It was using this file as a spec, but that's no problem because now all I have to do is click and turn my spec on and then just run it again. And now it runs it as the actual spec. But you can see where I've got the numbers are showing in the spec but not showing on the paint, which is again another easy fix. So I come in here and I turn the numbers on, turn the spec off, and I'm going to say export number, play, and there it goes. It loads up. Just super duper easy. I would have punched someone in the throat to have this when I was making all of my liveries. It is a really good method and I really like it. If you know someone that's using it or someone that could use it, maybe share it with them But I haven't heard of it yet. I didn't know anybody was doing this, or if anybody's doing this. Someone has, maybe there's some professional somewhere that's like, hey, I've been doing that for years and you did it incorrectly. And I would be happy to hear it, because I want to know the way. This is just me just messing around, figuring stuff out. So I hope it helps you. I just wanted to kind of maybe give something to the racing community. So I hope it helped. Let me know in the comments if it did help. I'd like to know what you're racing and what kind of liveries you're working on, because it's probably, I think I'm like a 90-10 on, I like do 90% of liveries and like 10% racing. So anyway, hope it helped. Thanks, gang.